Well, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So the news just doesn't stop flowing today. Right now, Zven reportedly heading to Cloud9 as per guest who tweeted it, Jacob Wolf. Now, I'm going to go over this move in depth right now to you guys. Well, for 10 minutes per se depth, because obviously I have to go to the gym. I don't have to go to the gym. I literally got really excited for a video and was like, hell yes, finally something changes with Cloud9. And I'm going to explain everything. I'll go over Snitsky and everything, but let's read what this obviously says. So let's see what goes on. Cloud9 will have a very different looking bot lane next year. A North American organization is reportedly finalizing terms to acquire TSM AD carry Zven, according to ESPN. The move, combined with the reported 1.5 million buyout of Dignitas support Vulcan, would completely overhaul C9's bot lane. For years, Cloud9 kept popular ADC Snitsky in the bot lane with a few different supporters, but it looks like that era of C9 is closing with Zven's arrival. Zven spent the 2018 and 2019 seasons with TSM, one of Cloud9's biggest domestic adversaries, but in time, Zven with TSM, the team didn't perform up to the fans' understandably high expectations. The team didn't win a single split in either season, and TSM also fell short for qualifying for Worlds both years. Zven's last match with TSM was arguably the most noticeable considering he blew a 2-0 lead against Clutch Gaming. TSM blew a 2-0 lead against Clutch Gaming in the NA regional finals to lose out on a spot at the World Championship. Zven will hope to have better success with Cloud9, which had a relatively poor showing at Worlds this year. So obviously you have Zven joining Cloud9, and before I get into the Snitsky point, I do want to bring up the fact that Cloud9 traditionally has been able to take players that did not perform very well on different organizations and obviously make them better. Most noticeably, you have Snitsky, who TSM did not have much success with at Worlds and at various instances when he was on TSM. Cloud9 got Snitsky and then got Snitsky the best things he could ever hope for. Worlds, semifinals, got him out of group stage, which he could not do before, and then he finally won an MVP title for himself, reinvigorating his career and really showing people that Snitsky was not the problem on TSM. Then you have to look at it this way as well, because people keep saying, well, Cloud9, rehabilitated Snitsky. You know, why can't they do the same thing for Zven right here? Why can't they take an ADC that a lot of people thought was really bad, myself included? I thought he played pretty bad. Take him and make him a lot better, because you have to factor in he does have a lot of talent. He does have a pretty high ceiling. Now, this is something that a commenter commented on last night on the LOL podcast that me and my partner did, and you obviously get to show people something different. And I'll go over the Snitsky thing in just a moment. I'll actually go over it in just a moment because I need to bring up the comment. Let me pause the video and let's bring up what he said, because I agree with him wholeheartedly. As much as folk shit on Zven, I think they forget the guy's highs. He has won LEC championships, that should be plural, and has had good showings at Worlds. TSM culture just didn't seem to fit him at all, but I'm 100% sure that C9 can fix that. Snitsky is good, but the guy is on the decline. Saying he has 5 years of experience isn't really saying much when anytime they can enter the rift, Snitsky is always the weakest player, unless you want to count some random pop-up moments, obviously from Snitsky's long story career. He plays team fights like a god, but that's about it. We need someone who can face double lift and not buckle at the knees. Will this be Zven with a solid support? Maybe. All I know is that riding with Snitsky in the bot lane for the past few years hasn't done us any favors. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with anything he said. He said everything 100% true. And this is the issue that pegs this. And I know this is going to get hate from fans. I know it will. But let's go over the Snitsky thing. I'm not saying he's bad. People keep saying I hate him. I do not. I'm not going to say it any more past this point, because at that point you're trolling me. I'm telling you 100% out of my own mouth, I do not hate him. I think he's a fine player. He's an okay player. But when it comes to performing internationally, he's done fairly well. I think we can all agree with that, right? There's been some worlds, and 2015's world and 2019's world where he's looked kind of bad, but overall he performed good at worlds various points. But throughout certain splits where we needed a strong ADC, he just wasn't that. Look at this last past finals against TL. Who was the weakest player in that series? Wasn't Licorice, wasn't Snitsky, wasn't Sven, wasn't even Zven. It was Sneaky. Look at this past year as to the reason why we couldn't really get things done. I'll admit, in the spring split, I had him as the best ADC in the league. I had him with Core JJ in my all-pro team. You can go back and watch the videos. I had him there. I am not going to doubt he played really well in the spring. But in summer, Sneaky and Zven looked really bad. Like, they looked really bad, and it even transitioned into Worlds. What will you do if you're Cloud9? Keep the same thing going over and over and over again. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, trying to see if you're going to get different results, right? Why not just stop any of that? Why not just stop that and obviously get new players into the team? Also, I'm not saying that Sneaky could never come back, but most likely he's going to be a streamer, which is fine. People can literally just go watch his streams. I understand that people are going to get very mad at this, but you have to understand this is the best thing for the team. He has not been playing well. Whether you choose to, think he has been or not makes you delusional, because that's just not the case. You can't say he's been playing well, yet he's been getting clearly clapped in every single lane I've seen him in throughout this entire summer and multiple other splits, but people let those go because obviously it's Sneaky. We did the same thing CLG did for a very long time. CLG did it with Darshan, and then Cloud9 was doing it with Sneaky. Look how well CLG did, well, quotations, when they let Darshan go. They put Ruin there. CLG were able to climb the ranks of the North American LCS and even get to a point where they didn't challenge Cloud9 us for obviously getting to finals, but at least they made it more competitive, right? They at least changed something. Fans were so disappointed that they kept sucking. They changed up a few pieces of the roster, and then it finally came all together for them. People were like, well, I really like Darshan. I really like him on this team. If they switch him out, I'm leaving. You don't want fake fans like that anyway. If a fan truly loves an org or a team, they'll stick with it no matter what. This happens in basketball, NFL, hockey, golf, any competitive sport that has a team built around it. Teams change over the years, guys. Players change. Players get worse. And that's just, it's not to say he got worse. It's just to say that, Cloud9 just needed change. Do you know why fans were so mad at them? Because of what happened? It wasn't because of Sneaky at Worlds. It's because the org didn't get out groups. Cloud9 being the constant org that gets out of the group, right? We didn't get out of the group, right? So why would we keep the same roster knowing we didn't get out of the group? If they kept the same roster, I would almost 100% without a fact not want to overall go with that anymore. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be their fan, but that would leave a bad taste in my mouth. Knowing you failed all year long and then keep the same people, the same roster that didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Yes, I understand. Finals in summer, third place relatively, in the spring. Cloud9 at this point wants to win a title, and that's what I can understand, I'm not saying that this is going to completely 100% work out, because we don't know. We don't know yet, right? But I would rather try something different and see if it works out than do the same thing that is clearly not working. Now, what would you do? Would you do the same thing and fail, or try something new and then have the aspect of it being better? Now, if Zven works out better than Sneaky, the highs of this guy is insane, because I think people will love that Cloud9 is winning and finally gets to be that top dog North American organization that people know that they can be. We know Cloud9 can do it. There's nobody here that's going to disagree with me, are you? No one's going to disagree with me, right? We all understand that Cloud9 is the best North American organization in terms of international success in general, right? So why not give the org a best chance at that. People knew that Zeyzal was playing bad and were like, Zeyzal probably should be not on the team. Vulcan coming in is a good thing, right? People were like, Snitsky hasn't been performing well, but it was his first Worlds, so we'll give him a pass. That's okay, because obviously some people just bomb at Worlds because Worlds is pretty hard. You know, just look at all those great teams at Worlds that didn't make it out of groups this year. RNG is one of them, right? Then you look at other things that you factor in is that if something has consistently been a weak point for Cloud9, you have to factor into Reaper, he constantly has to draft sneaky stuff that he doesn't lose with, or constantly has to put priority into sneaky because he's just not strong enough to hold back double lift. Who's the biggest competition for C9 in terms of a title, which would be TSM and TL, right? The biggest competition on those teams at that time was Zven and double lift because of how strong they were. Bjergsen, and then they later on, did that with Jensen. So, and I'll bring up the high point in just a moment that I'll clearly show you guys what I'm talking about. The biggest portion of TL's competition right now would be Cloud9, right? But TL have a massive edge over Cloud9 because of the bot lane. They lost the finals because of bot lane difference. Yes, it was the game 4, obviously. They could have won the series, but that shoulda, woulda, coulda means nothing. They were still weak. And that game 5 clearly shows that Doublelift needed to have competition in the series, and it wasn't, and they were not getting it from the bot lane. I'll take you to another example of Cloud9 doing this, because people remember the Svenskeren situation because that's the most recent one. Let me bring you up to another situation. Remember when High played consistently bad and people wanted him replaced? Jack got a replacement. It didn't work out for a little bit of time, but then later on did well with Jensen, who later on became to be one of the best North American mid laners. A lot of people like to forget that, right? High was a weak link, couldn't take on Bjergsen. Jack switched him out. It worked out very well for Cloud9. They almost won titles, clearly. So I don't understand why people are. I understand why people are going to get mad at this. I really do. But you have to understand, do you like winning or do you like a certain player? Because this is the worst thing for people and teams to really get into this mindset that I like to explain, is that the worst thing someone can do is keep somebody on a team. Well, the streaming thing with League gives him the option of being still with the org. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Is that the performance isn't there. Do you keep him because you like him or do you want to win? Where does the gap separate between people in North American LCS? Because other orgs besides Cloud9 do this. Other orgs are starting to break away from it. And I like that. For the North America, one of the big things I'll talk about in my next LOL podcast episode is that North America needs to branch away from people that have not performed well. They need to start doing that. If you don't, we're going to get the same results ever. This is a good move from Cloud9. I 100% support this. I am not mad about this. I think that the ceiling is very high with this. Vulcan, I think, is very good. I think we have a really good bot lane. I think that we have a chance at winning the title. That's a good thing. That's something you should be proud of. And you guys can always visit Snitsky on his Twitch streams. He's not literally, not alive. He's literally alive. He'll be cosplaying until I'm dead, literally. So I love this move. It happened several different times at Cloud9 where they rehabilitate a player and it works out. Golden Glue, Jensen, you also have it with Svenskeren recently. There's just so many different... Licorice on E United wasn't even considered good. He came to Cloud9. He is considered a top 2, top 3 mid laner. Some days he's considered the best in the league. Come on here. On Splice, Snitsky was just considered a Casio player. On Cloud9, people considered him one of the best mid laners last split. You see how they can constantly do stuff? I know people are going to ridicule this trade to death. But I'm 100%, I agree with it. I think that his ceiling is infinitely better than Sneaky's. I think that the org finally understands that you need to cut a player if they're just not working out. Sneaky's had an ample amount of time to be a lot better than what he showed us, right? That's not even debatable at that point, right? I 100% agree with this. I'm glad I was so mad at them at Worlds I've never been mad at them. XD, because I was mad at Worlds that we didn't get out of groups. I knew G2 would get out of groups. I obviously knew that. But Cloud9, I was like, okay, Cloud9 needs to get more wins than G2 first because I wanted them out of the group. And then I thought to myself, after they played that one game against Hong Kong Attitude, I was like, this is not looking good, man. This is just not looking good. And then they didn't make it out. Obviously, people were like, why didn't Cloud9 make it out of groups? We had a bad team. Guys, we had a bad team. And they're trying to make a better team. So why not support that? That's all I'm going to say. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out. Peace out, guys. Let me know what you think about this trade in the comment section below. There's gonna be a lot of angry Cloud9 fans at me. I don't really care personally. You want to win, or you want to keep doing the same thing? Because a lot of fans can get behind the team that wins. A lot of fans will be disappointed if you keep a player that has been declining for a while now. Hey, 100% facts, and I know the truth hurts. See you later. Hashtag C9win.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.